Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Paul's epistle to the Romans. I got up to chapter 8, verse 18. Logisdamai ga hoti uk axia, ta pathemata tu nun kairu prosten melusan doxan, apokaliphthenai es hemas. Logisdamai is a word really from accounting. It means to reckon, to tally up. So generally it becomes a more general philosophical word, but originally a sort of a word having to do with reckoning in the mathematical sense. So for I reckon that, ta pathamata, third declension noun, the root path is from the verb pasco, to suffer, and pathema is a suffering. So for I reckon that the sufferings tu nun kairu of this now season, so of this present season, uk axia, we have to, I think, understand the verb to be here, are not worthy. Now the pros here in the sense of in comparison with, it means beside. And so they're not worthy beside, we would say in comparison with, tan doxan melusan, the coming glory, participle here from mellow, with the comparison with the coming glory, apokaliphthenai, to be revealed. We have an aorist passive infinitive here from apokalypto, to be revealed in us, or perhaps to us. For the apokaradokia, this is an interesting word, it's a late word. The meaning of it is eager longing. You'll notice we get this little root kara in here. It's apo plus kara plus doc, from connected with docio, doce, docio, and so on. The kara is an old Homeric word, in fact, meaning a head, one's head. So the original meaning of this was to have your head outstretched, waiting in expectation. So it's quite a descriptive noun here, just generally rendered eager longing, but it's got that sense of having your head outstretched, waiting for something. It's a bit like our with bated breath, so with eager expectation. So for the eager expectation, tes ktisios, this is genitive third declension noun from ktesis, generally rendered as creation. It's connected with a verb meaning to found, to set up, to build up, and hence comes to mean creation. For the eager expectation of creation, the main verb is apek dehetai. This is another late and rare word, mostly confined to the New Testament, and it also means to wait expectantly. So hagar karadokia tes ktisios tes apokalypsin ton huion to theo apedeketai. For the eager expectation of creation eagerly awaits tain apokalypsin, the revelation of the sons of God. Precisely what that means I'll leave to the commentators to expound it further. Tega matai oteti hektisis hupetage uhekusa aladia ton hupataxanta, and we have a comma here, FLPD hoti kai aute hektisis eleutherian tes doxes ton technon to theou. So we have ktesis again. This is the nominative noun we had up here. Hupatage is an aorist passive from hupotasso, which is subject. So it's by matai otes, by frustration or futility, or perhaps in frustration and or futility. The word is used in the Septuagint where it generally means vanity or folly, but here it seems to have the sense of futility or frustration. the creation has been subjected. So it could be for the creation has been subjected, perhaps to futility, or to frustration, or it could be in frustration it has been subjected. Uk hekusa. This is really now by this stage of the language, and even in earlier Greek, it's a third declension adjective, hekon, and this is just the feminine form, agreeing with ktisis. Originally, it was probably some kind of participle, but that must have been very early on. So it means willing. Hekon is taken as an adjective meaning willing. So not willing. So not being a willing party is creation, but through the one having subjected it, understood. Now, again, the commentators, you'll need to look at the commentators here on this as to whether the comma should be here or not. You can see that there's debate about this. Others remove the comma and take it with FLPD, in hope. So I'll just translate it as it is. So for creation so in futility, the creation has been made subject, not willing, so not willingly we'd say in English, but on account of the one having subjected it. And then comma, in hope that the creation itself, eleutherothesatai, this is a future passive, will be set free, apotes douleos, from slavery of corruption, into the eleutherion, into the freedom of the glory of the sons of God. Again, there's a lot of interesting theology there. I'll leave all that to the commentators to expound it further, but that's literally what it is saying here. Oidomen ga hotipasan hektisis sun stenasde kai sun odine acritunun. We know, so for we know that pasa hektisis, all the creation. Now we get two verbs here with sun at the beginning. As you'll know, when you put sun in front of a verb with either a double consonant like zeta or xi or sigma tau here, the nun disappears. So it's just sun plus stenasdo and sun plus odino. Stenasdo is an old verb meaning to groan, and odine is to be in the act of childbirth, so to be in birth pangs. So all the creation groans sus together and is in labour together, acri to nun, up until the present time. Got to supply chrono here. It just becomes a standard idiom, to nun, up until now. Eudemonon, but not only that, alakai autoi he ap arken to pneumatos ekontes, hemes kai autoi en hiautois stonasdomen huiothesian hup ek decominoi. I'll have to hold it there. So we know that all creation groans up until now, but not only that, but also, now we get a participle here. It's going with the autoi, but there's no subject of that. We do get a we in the next bit, so I think it's generally the case we take this as being we as the subject of the participle. I can't see anything else it could go with. But we ourselves, having the first fruits of the Spirit, we ourselves also, so it's very emphatic, humes de autoi, and he's got autoi here, we ourselves also, stenasdomen, we are groaning in ourselves, or perhaps among ourselves, We get this verb again at the hup ek decami, awaiting, expecting, or awaiting expectedly. Huiothesian. We had this noun back up in verse 15. As I mentioned then, the Jews generally did not practice adoption the way it was more of a Greco-Roman thing. So awaiting adoption, again it's from huios plus the thes, the root from tithemi, being placed or made into a son. So expecting adoption or sonship, the apolutrosin, and then two somatos hemon on the next page. Apolutrosis is deliverance. Occurs only once in the Septuagint, I think in the book of Daniel, where it means recovery or redemption. It's a third declension feminine abstract noun. It's from apoluo, which is to ransom originally, or to redeem, to get back, and hence it means the sense of deliverance. And this is in apposition to the huiothesian. So the deliverance of somatos hemon of our bodies, Tega elpidi esothemen, elpiste blepomene, ugestin elpis, hoga blepe tis elpisde, e de ho u blepomen elpisdomen, de hupomones apo de cometha. For we have been saved, aorist passive from sozo, by hope. But hope, blepomene, present participle, being seen, so hope which is seen is not hope. Now we get one of these sort of hyperbaton here. We're going to take the second part first. So who hopes for, understand that which he sees. Well, who hopes for that which he sees? But if elpisdomen, if we hope for that, understood, which we do not see, we get the same verb again. We await expectedly through hupomones, steadfastness. Quite a common word in the New Testament. Hutos de kai topneuma sun antilabanatai te asthenea hemon, toga te pros euxometha, cathode uk oidomen, ala auto topneuma hup en tonkane, stenak mois ala letois. I'll just pause it there. Hos autos, in the same way, so it's thus likewise, so in the same way also, topneuma, the spirit, sun anti lambano, an interesting word here. It is used in the Septuagint in Psalms, and it does also occur in Luke 10:40. It's a late and rare word. It means to come to one's side to assist, to join in assisting, to get the sun into it. So for likewise also the Spirit joins in assisting, and it's taking a dative after the sun, assisting our weakness. Now this next bit is tricky. The top here is rather odd. It really is the use of the article makes the whole clause dependent then on the oidomen. And you can either just leave out the top completely. The sense of it is we know top the thing. Well, it's actually uk oidomen. We do not know the thing. And then we get another clause in here. So it's probably convenient not to translate the top. It's so it's something like, we do not know what, this is a subjunctive, we might pray for, katho for kata plus ho, it's something like as, day it is necessary, understand, for us to pray. So we do not know what we might pray for as we ought. It's often translated literally as it is necessary. You can take the top as a kind of object of oidomen. We do not know that thing, what, and the thing is then what we might pray for as we ought, as it is necessary. Alla auto top pneuma, but the Spirit itself, emphatic auto here, huper en tunkane. I think this verb only occurs here in all of Greek. The more common verb is en tunkano, to intercede, originally meaning to fall in with, to entreat, and hence it comes to mean intercede. Paul is very fond of putting huper in front of verbs, and then forms new, neologisms really, forms new words. It's one of the features of Pauline Greek. You will see lots of verbs with huper in front. And then that makes it a very rare word. So, but the Spirit itself, something like intercedes, it's almost on our behalf, for the huper, with unintelligible groanings. So stenagmos. We've had stenasdo, to groan, and stenagmos is a groaning. And this is from alpha privative plus the lalio root of speaking. So unspeakable, unintelligible, so unspeakable groanings, literally. So but the Spirit itself intercedes possibly on our behalf with unspeakable groanings, but this is the Spirit, even though it's neuter, it's got a hop, so, but he, perhaps, eraunon, this is a participle from erauno, to search, but it, or he, for the Spirit, searches the hearts, searching the hearts, oiden, knows, what, understand, is tophronema, literally the thought, perhaps the mind or the mentality of the Spirit. Actually, I've got that wrong. That hop can't refer back to top pneuma. It must refer to God, or it's not quite clear, but it's the one searching the hearts, knows what is the mind of the Spirit. So I'm not quite clear what the hop refers to here. It may be the Spirit, it may be Jesus, it may be just, it's just the one. Literally, the one searching the hearts knows what is the mind or mentality of the Spirit, because entunkane, that's the that's the same verb without the huper, it intercedes on behalf of the saints, katatheon, literally according to God. So some commentators have suggested here that it really means katatothelema to theo, according to the will of God. So again, I'll leave it to the commentaries to explain this, and the ho may refer back to the Spirit. It's difficult at this stage to see exactly what the position of Holy Spirit is as part of the Trinity and so on. So I'll leave that to the commentators to unpack. But it's literally, just to do it again quickly, the one searching the hearts knows what is the thought of the Spirit, because it intercedes on behalf of the saints according, in brackets, to the will of God. Oidomen de hoti tois agaposin ton theon, panta sun erge es agathon. Tois kata prothesin kletois, and I think on the next page the participle is usin. So, but we know that, and the subject here I think is panta, all things, Sun ergai, neuter plural singular verb, from sun ergio, so work together for the ones loving God. Sorry, they work together for good, for the ones loving God. So we know that all things work together for good for the ones loving God. For the ones, now there's a participle here, usin, the ones being, so those who are, kletos, called, the ones who are called or invited, kata prothesin, something like according to his plan or purpose. It's from pro and the thes or the thet root from tithemi, that which is laid down beforehand, so hence plan or purpose. So those who are called according to his plan or purpose. Again, I'll leave the commentators to expound this further, including the next section, which brings up all sorts of questions about predestination and so on. I'll leave the commentators to expound this. Hoti hus pro egno kai pro orisen sum morphus tes ikonos to theoutu as to enai auto prototokon en polois adelphois. Because those whom, got to supply tutus here, those whom he knew beforehand, so he foreknew, and pro orisen from pro orisdo, which means he set apart beforehand. So those whom he foreknew also he set apart beforehand, got to understand to be something like sharing the form of the image of the Son of God. So you got to supply anai here. So he's set apart to be those who share the form or the same likeness, sum plus morphe, some translate conformed to. So those whom he foreknew also he set apart to be or to be those who share the form of the image. This is from eikon, resemblance. We get our modern word icon from that, of course, from the image of his Son, so that he, so we get aistop plus infinitive, for him to be prototokon, the firstborn. The tok root is connected with tikto, to bear. Aorist is etekon, and then the perfect is tetoka. So you get a vowel gradation here. So it's the firstborn among many brothers, among many brethren. Hus de pro orisen tutus kai ekalesen, kai hus ekalesen tutus kai edikaiosen, hus de edikaiosen tutus kai edoxasen. So those whom pro orisen he set apart beforehand, these ones also he has called, aorist from Kallio. Those whom he has called, can also mean invite, by the way, Kallio, but I'll just say called here. These also he has justified, he has declared righteous, and those whom he has justified, those whom he has declared righteous, these also he has glorified, from doxasto. And that is the next section of chapter 8.